come on in. I'm CM Coleman. Welcome to my home. Today we are going to talk about those once a month projects that I do, or I guess they're tasks that I do that a lot of people forget about. And some of them are pretty darn important. So I will walk you through what I do, how I do them, and we're going to let VoiceOver Me really take over with this because I will show you what I'm doing, explain it, and then we'll talk about it at the very end. But a lot of these people forget, and one of the biggest ones that people forget is at the very, very end. But let's get started. So the first thing that we are going to clean, and I usually clean this the last day of the month, is the coffee maker. I clean the coffee maker with Coffee Maker Cleaner. It actually is a descaler, and it's really easy to do. You just put I think it's about an ounce of the coffee cleaner into your water, into your coffee maker, and then you run a normal thing through, just a normal cycle of it going through, which is really easy to do. Once it's in there, you put your water, put it in there, and then you start it, and then within a few seconds, alright, so it's only on this that it's a few seconds. In real life, it's a few minutes. After a few minutes, it gets all the way run through, and then you are done. Then what needs to happen is you need to process this, which means that you need to rinse it out. And I do 3 different times where I run it through. So you just, once again, run it to fill it up with water, run it through, and then you just repeat that 3 times until it is completely done. Once it is completely done, as you can see, I'm spilling water everywhere. But it's really easy to do, and I like to keep a pitcher. That's a big mason jar that I fill with water, so that way, as I'm dumping it out, I can keep the cycle going and not have to worry about, is it done, is it not done, and I can pour the extra. Now, I can pour the extra water either down the sink or do something else with it, but this helps to make sure that your coffee maker gets not only cleaned, but it also gets rinsed out, because unless you're rinsing out your coffee maker every time, you're going to have these problems. So just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. It's a really easy process to do. And then what I like to do is once the coffee maker is I've run it through the 3 times, then I'm going to put all the coffee maker equipment into the dishwasher so that way it can get nice and clean, and I will go ahead and do the whole cycle with the coffee maker and the coffee filter through the dishwasher, and it will get nice and clean for when it is time to actually clean it out. And that's the fun part about that. Put your dishwasher tablet in there, and you are ready. Perfect. Way to go. Let's talk your dryer. A lot of people forget about this. Your dryer has a lint trap, and yes, of course, you were supposed to clean out your lint trap every time you run your dryer, which I really do try to make sure that I clean it out every time. But there's something else to think about, and that other thing to think about is the fact that cleaning out the lint trap isn't just it. There is also, you want to clean out where the lint trap is. Now, I am using this cleaner hose, this hose attachment for my vacuum, where I can just plug it in, and then I can attach it's just a plastic nozzle which goes onto the end of my vacuum cleaner. I just slide the nozzle onto it, and then once it's on there, I can then take that, and you can see how much lint and everything is in there. It's just a mess. I turn on the vacuum, and then we are ready to suck up all of that extra lint, which is it's not just in your lint trap. No, it is in the vacuum. It's in the whole device itself. If you do not suck that up or leave it in there, that can be its own huge problem. So what I like to do is I like to use this to get out all the extra lint, all of those things which could be in there. And I'll admit that there are times where I've forgotten to, and I've left something in there, and it will get stuck in the lint trap, and this is a good way to make sure that doesn't happen, that you aren't, possibly having a fire. Now, I also like to make sure that I do my lint trap. This is a really easy thing to do once a month, where you just vacuum the lint trap itself, because unless you wipe this down with water, you might not get all of the lint off of it. And I've found that, yeah, there have been times when there's lots of lint, or in my case, where there's lots of corgi hair all over everything, because I like to wash all the stuff that I have at least once a month. And when I do that, I get hair off of everything. If you want to know how much stuff was in that lint trap, that's it. That was all in the lint trap. That doesn't count what I pulled out. Now we get into my robot vacuum. I have a Roomba. I think it is an E5, I think. And once a month, I make sure that I take the rollers out. Usually I let the rollers themselves, I change them about once every 3 months. But the Roomba itself, I want to make sure that it gets all nice and clean. Because if you don't get it all nice and clean, you can be spreading a whole bunch of dirt. One of the things that I like to do is I take out the really filthy filter, take that out, throw that out into the garbage along with the 2 rollers that you saw. Then I go back through and I clean up I guess once again that would be another like a dustbin or that sort of thing. I like to use water to really clean this out, because you'd be amazed at how much dirt actually gets in there. And you'll see as I'm cleaning this that I'm using these little brushes that I've gotten to help clean things out. I make sure to not oversaturate it with water, but I make sure to get it nice and clean and scrub everything, including, you'll notice that there are some eyes on there which are actually used to make sure to see how dirty everything is. So that will help with that. It'll also help with the contacts if you clean the contacts, so that way when you're charging it up, it will charge better. The big thing about this is you want to clean everything, including those little areas that's really hard to get to or you could very easily miss. This is the dust and dirt and everything that collects in between the dust bin and the vacuum itself. And it's really good to get that taken care of, because then it keeps your machine going and it keeps your machine nice and clean. You really want to clean with clean items. If this were not clean, this could be a huge problem, because it could then not have as much suction. It could then just spread more dirt, which I have done that before. And like I said, I have a corgi. The corgi has corgi hair everywhere. Once I am done cleaning it, I try to dry it off as much as I can, because I want to make sure that I'm not keeping extra water in there. Look at that. See how dirty that is? So I will make sure that all of it gets nice and clean and it looks good. It isn't just sort of clean. It really is clean. Now, I could use, once a year, I will do the whole thing with a Q-tip or some sort of cotton swab, so that way I can make sure that I get everything. But now I'm doing the dust collector itself, making sure to wash that out, thoroughly rinse it out, make sure everything gets all nice and clean. But the other important part about this is, once you have gotten this all nice and clean and washed out, which a lot of people forget about, the other important part about this is you've got to let it dry. Lots of people want to just put these things back together without letting it dry, and it's just like, no, this is not good, because some of the pieces will be in contact with others, which you could have a mold form up. So I just let mine sit in the sink and drain. I make sure to flip it over every once in a while to make sure I get all the sides. Then one other thing people forget is the filter for their vent on their oven. This one's on my microwave. It has an air filter. I am using very, very hot water because usually it's covered in grease. This time, for whatever reason, I must not have fried that much or cooked that much with grease. And so I will make sure to scrub this. I am using dish detergent, which cuts through the grease, and I make sure to scrub it really, really well. You can soak them. You can soak them in a degreaser. I found that for the little amount of grease that I had this time, that I did not need to do this, that the hot water would work. And then once I have that all nice and scrubbed, then I used just a rinse, a good thorough water rinse with everything to make sure that it also is nice and clean. And you can see it looks a little bit better than what it did. So then I, with that, once again, let it dry. Once it's dry, I can put it back in on the vent, and it is all completely done. And the nice part about doing these things this way is because now I'm ready to put back together our vacuum cleaner. So I put the filter in. I try to remember which way the filter, the thing goes, and then I put the rollers in. This is really funny, and I don't know why this happens every single time. I know how this goes, but then I also sometimes fight to get the rollers in the right way, and it's literally on there how you put them in. But if you're not really good at it, you can take your time. It's okay. It's not like it's something that has to be done super, super quick. Just take your time, get them so that they fit in there, and once it is in there, then your vacuum will be all ready to go. And like I said, I was fooling around with this for way longer than what I needed to, but once I got them in there, and on mine, it's not supposed to matter what order you put them in, and normally it doesn't. I don't know why it did this time, but this time it did. Once I got it in there, got it locked into place, then I put in the brush, which is on the side. It has a screw on there that just screw it down in there, make sure that it is nice, tight, and secure, and we are ready to put it back onto its little charging base. I let it go to its little charging base, and it will be ready for the next time that I am ready to use it, which is really important to make sure that your vacuum, with especially robot vacuum, is charged up. Then we have the bathroom shower curtain. Okay, so my shower curtain is two separate pieces. I have an outer shower curtain, and then I have the shower curtain liner. So what I do is I have my double shower curtain hooks, which are just literally hooks that are a hook on each side, so I can take the shower curtain off there. Speed through that, you know how shower curtains go. I make sure that I get the shower curtain off of there and the shower curtain liner off of there, and then once they're off, they need to go into the washer. The washer I then set at I set on the bed waterproof setting, so that way it will then balance itself out, so I can wash it and get it all taken care of. And I also use Clorox or bleach so that I can bleach it back to being a good color. Now the funny part about this is, to dry off the shower curtain liner, I take the shower curtain liner out of the washing machine, and I actually will hang it up on the other shower curtain, which is back in my guest bedroom. You're wondering, why don't I wash the shower curtain liner for that other shower? Because I almost never ever use this thing. So there's not much reason to wash that shower curtain. I probably wash it maybe once a year, maybe not. It just depends. Once everything is all nice and washed, you know what time it is? It's time to run the washing machine through its self-washing cycle or self-cleaning cycle. It is a very simple thing to do. I just set it on the self-cleaning cycle, and it will go through its own self-cleaning. I don't have to do anything to it. Then I can take the dried, once it is dry, I can take the dried shower curtain and shower curtain liner and then hang those back up into the bathroom, making sure that I get everything all nice and hooked up so it doesn't fall down on me or anything. But forgetting to wash your shower curtain is one of those easy things to do. There are lots of people who like, oh, I never wash my shower curtain or never wash my shower curtain liner. I will admit my shower curtain liner is a heavier shower curtain liner so that way I can wash it. Whatever you do, do not put your shower curtain liner into the dryer. It will melt it. It will melt it pretty bad, so just let that hang up. Also, dump your ice. I forgot to show me emptying out the ice, but I dumped the ice. Then one of the things that I do, which a lot of people do not do, I like to wash my dishwasher. All I do to wash my dishwasher is I put in about a cup of vinegar. You can use a cleaning vinegar. You can use whatever high percentage vinegar that you can. And then just run your vinegar through in the cup with the cup up, up the right way, so that way it runs through a normal cycle of as hot as you can, washing it. And if you're going to do this, one of the things that you want to do is you want to wash, or at least clean, your garbage disposal. Yes, they make garbage disposal cleaner. One of the things that you do have to do is you have to run the garbage disposal with a bunch of hot water and then run it for quite a while. That is the interesting part. You let the water run and let the garbage disposal run to make sure that there is nothing in there that you have to worry about. Then make sure that you're using hot water to do this. Then you can put your little packet in there. Came into these packets. I just slid it down in there, turned it on, and the cool part about this is watching it foam up on both sides. It shows you that it is really cleaning, and you do have to let this run for quite a while. You want to make sure that your garbage disposal cleaner is thoroughly cleaned. And how do you know it's ready to be done or turned it off? It will empty out. See how on the one side the garbage disposal cleaner is now gone? That's the best part. The garbage disposal cleaner will let you know, hey, I'm all finished, you are done running it through. Then you want to take that and rinse it out. Make sure that you rinse all of that cleaner, all of that foam out. If you don't, and I have done this, you will have problems. So you want to make sure that you get both sides nice and cleaned out. And it does. It makes a world of difference with your garbage disposal. It doesn't smell. It doesn't do anything. Then we have our dishwasher. Once everything has gone through, you notice the cup is filled with water. Well, that's because that whole thing has gone through. It looks pretty good in there. So then I can then just dump the water and then put the cup back into the dishwasher. That's just me. I'm sure I could have just washed it, but no, I'll run it through the cycle. Then the last thing, which I always try to do during the month, I always try to wash my cleaning implements. That means I am washing my bottles, my sprays, and that sort of stuff, because you would be absolutely shocked, and I mean absolutely shocked with the amount of dirt that these bottles can get on them. Then once you get all of those bottles, and all I'm using is just soap and hot water on these. And at that moment, I was just like, well, what else did I forget? And you know what I forgot? I forgot one of the only things that I use that is an implement that has a handle. And this is my duster. I really love this duster because it's a bendable duster, but I want to make sure that I get the handle all nice and clean, so that way it doesn't have any dirt, any grime on it, and I can make sure that it is ready to go for the next time that I do this. And this makes the world of difference. So, did you forget to do any of those projects, or do you not do any of those? Because there are some people who just absolutely do not do them. Or, even better, are there things that I don't do that you do? You know what I mean. You're probably saying, but you don't wash down your door handles and light switches. No, I do that every week. These are not my normal cleaning tasks because I clean one room a week, and that way it gets the whole entire house done. And if there's a fifth Monday, because I always clean on Mondays, then I have a Monday off, which is really good. Now, the reason I can do that is because I live alone. So my house does not get that dirty, except for dog hair. I get dog hair everywhere. My little corgi, she sheds another corgi almost every day. So yeah, there's lots of things in there But these are the big tasks that I always say that people forget. And then the biggest one, of course, is, like I said, the cleaning your cleaning implements. That also means the bottles, the tools that you actually use. Make sure that you clean those at least once a week. It would be better if you, at least once a month. It'd be better if you clean them once a week. But cleaning them once a month would be good, because you never think about the fact that every time you grab some sort of spray or something, your hands are probably already dirty, and there you are. You have dirt on your cleaning stuff, which you're supposed to clean. Kind of weird, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know down in the comments what you thought. At this time, I'd like to thank these wonderful people who let me go on and talk about wonderful cleaning things. If you would like to become part of the Patreon family, where you get a behind-the-scenes weekly vlog, and you get these videos early, you can go ahead and join the Patreon, or you can join channel members. It really does help expand this channel, and it will help me do bigger and better projects, because I really would like to make over my bathroom, but that's going to take somebody, so we're going to have to build up to that. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know down in the comments what you thought, and I hope I get to see you again the next time you stop by.